to my channel. My name's Natalie, and today's video is going to be hopefully a short one, basically just going over some products from the drugstore in particular that I've gotten in the past few months that I decided I don't like. So spoiler alert, this is going to be products that I regret buying pretty much. Some of them hopefully I can still return because even though they're from the drugstore and they're relatively inexpensive, I still don't want them if they suck. Okay, the first product, have you guys heard of this brand? Because I had never, and I still have never seen like any advertising for it. I've never seen any YouTubers talk about it, anything like that. The brand is called Lick or Leak. Not really sure, but I saw this at Target and I very impulsively grabbed it because I have been very invested in my research on lip balms, lip masks. I have a video that I will link for you if you want to see some luxury lip products and how I'm ranking them. But I picked this up because of that and was hoping it would be a good dupe for my favorite lip masks that I own. And sadly, it's not. It is not a horrible product. Like, I don't hate it, but it's not very good. This is called a lip mask. It says it's going to soothe, revive, hydrate. This to me seems like it's trying to dupe, at least packaging and like lettering wise, the Bite Beauty Lip Agave Mask. And sadly, this is nothing like that. Besides, like I said, the packaging. First of all, it says it is a honey scent, and it's not. The scent to me is very plasticky. The shade of this is also kind of like a silvery, like clear shade, and I would prefer it to just be clear. Like, I don't know why they felt the need to add like silver, specifically sparkles. They're not uncomfortable, and if you shear it out on your lips, it's not like super metallic, but I just feel like it was a weird choice. This product was $10, and if it was a good dupe for the Bite one, I would be happy because I'd be saving money, but I still think it's overpriced for what it is. I mean, the ingredients seem pretty decent. It is cruelty-free. I just did not like it. This was not a dupe. This was not worth even $10. And like I said, I will be returning it if I can. Next, I have actually two products from e.l.f. and they're both a little bit more recent, as in I think they both came out this year, 2020. And the first one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish. Now, I tried the original camo concealer last year, 2019, and everyone was hyping it up so much, and I ended up really not liking it. I felt like it was way too dry under my eyes. I did not like the packaging, which was similar to this one, as in it had this giant applicator. Do you see how messy this applicator is though? Like, the stopper on the tube is just not cutting it. However, I could easily overlook that. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's also $6 because it's e.l.f. So I could overlook the messy packaging, but what I can't overlook is the formula. Now, this one is more hydrating and not as drying as the original camo concealer. So they did do a good job as far as that goes. However, I just find that every time I try to use this, I don't like how my under eyes look. This is another product that is not like, oh my God, it looks so bad, I could never use this. If I absolutely had to use this up, I would have okay under eyes, okay concealer. I could make it work. It's just like, I can't even explain it. It's just like a little bit too like patchy. That's what it is. It's not smooth under my eyes. And a concealer that is also from the drugstore, albeit a little bit more money. I think it's like $4 more, sitting at around like 10, if I remember correctly, $9.99, whereas this one's $6. The Milani Conceal and Perfect is so much better. Not drying, not insanely hydrating, the perfect amount of creaminess, perfect amount of smoothness, good coverage. This is just not hitting it for me. I wish I could be more specific, but even though I've used this so many times, like over and over and over on my under eyes, something about it couldn't fall in love with it. I started using it as like an eye primer so that I could at least use it up, But even that, I was like, I just don't love it. So I'm not gonna force myself to use this anymore, and it's too late to return and I don't even have the receipt or the packaging, which is fine, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts on that concealer. It just doesn't cut it for me. I'd much rather spend a few extra dollars and have absolute perfection in the Milani one than continue to use that e.l.f. one. Okay, so the other product from e.l.f. is the Luminous Putty Primer. So the regular putty primer I have not tried. I've heard that that is a really good dupe for the super famous and super expensive Tatcha primer. However, I wanted to try the Luminous one because, do we all know this by now? I've had more dry skin and I've been enjoying a more like dewy finish for my complexion products. So I tried this one out and I didn't like it. Like every time I tried it, either my makeup did not sit right on top of it or it did absolutely nothing and was pointless. Now, I am someone who may not be the perfect tester of a luminous primer because I powder my entire face every single day. I set my entire face, set my foundation every day. So when you're doing that, you are going to take away a lot of the dewiness, a lot of the shine, a lot of the glow from your products, because like, obviously you're mattifying it with powder. So that could be part of it, but especially when I was using this and I felt like my makeup was sitting weird on top of it, that's when I was like, okay, this is a variable that I am not getting anything positive out of it. And if anything, sometimes I'm getting a negative result. So why am I bothering to use this? I just don't like it. I don't think that there's anything positive about it. Like I said, perhaps the original putty primer would be good because, you know, at least you'd get some pore filling. There also is a mattifying putty primer that I've seen some people like. If you're oily, maybe you'll get a result with that. But for me personally, this was both pointless and also annoying. So I don't like it, will not be continuing to use that. Then I have a blush from Wet n Wild. This, I believe, was on the same Target trip as when I bought this. This is their blush that says new, in pearlescent pink. Now, I think it's new as in it's a new like packaging at the very least. They've had pearlescent pink out for a long time. I think even Kathleen Lights is maybe somebody who I've heard talk about pearlescent pink specifically, but it was when it was in the square packaging that she was like, oh, this is so great. So I wanted to try it out, and especially since it said new, I was like, oh, maybe it's like a newer, even better formula than it used to be. Truth be told, I never tried the old formula in that square packaging, so I have nothing to compare it to. But what I can say is while this is a pretty color, this is just too dry for me. Like I do not get anything out of this. It's supposed to, oh God, yeah. This is a product, like I'm trying to swatch it, and first of all, barely anything is coming off on my finger, and it's not like that light of a blush. Like I should get some pigment from this, and then when I go to swatch it, it's just dry and like not a lot of payoff. This is like a blush nightmare to me. I don't care if it was like $2 or $3. This is not even worth that. Like I will buy a soda with the money and be happier than having this in my collection. Do you know what I mean? Like $3 is $3, like I'll buy something else. My overall opinion is dry, non-pigmented, looks chalky, gross, don't like it at all, do not buy this. And lastly, I have a product from Maybelline. This is kind of interesting to me because this is the Eye Studio Gel Liner, and everyone raves about the black one of this. I mean, I remember Jaclyn Hill for her entire career on YouTube raving about the black gel liner. So I figured if I want a brown one, this must be a good formula, right? It must be the same formula, right? I don't know because I haven't tried in years the black one of the gel liner, but this brown one is just not cutting it. Now, this is another product that I don't think is unusable. Like I can probably get some use out of it. However, I just don't get the smooth pigmented line that I'm looking for. A gel liner from the drugstore that I think is way better is from L'Oreal, and it's like in the shade Espresso or something like that. The reason why I didn't get the L'Oreal one though is because That shade espresso or dark brown or whatever it is so dark that it's almost black. And I really have been looking for like a true brown. I thought I was gonna get it in this, and yes, the color is pretty good and pretty close to what I was looking for. Like it's a lot more like medium dark brown than like basically black. However, like I said, I find I have to go over my eyeliner multiple times to get a smooth, pigmented, opaque look. Again, it works, but it's annoying to get there. I'd rather go buy the L'Oreal one and just not have like the color that I want, or even buy a high-end gel liner that's gonna perform the way I want it to. Have you guys tried this one, and have you been able to compare it to the black one? Because again, I hear amazing things about the black one, but this to me, like I would never buy this again. And if I do use it, it'll be kind of like begrudgingly because I'm not getting the effect that I want. I actually just thought of one other product. That was gonna be the only 5 that I talked about, but I did think of another product. I recently saw somebody talk about these favorably, and I have to disagree, at least with the color I have. I am talking about the Flower Beauty Pop Fanatic Eye Pigment. Are these still available? Does this exist anymore? This could be a pointless like insert for this video if they don't, but if they do, buyer beware. In the yellow shade at least, this sucks. I have always been looking for a super high intensity pigmented yellow eyeshadow. I mean, for years, like I've been looking for one, and I have a couple in my collection now that work pretty well, but I've never had anything that is like the punch of yellow that I want. I mean, I want full opacity, bright, pigmented color, and this I thought was going to give it to me, or potentially could, because it is a cream shadow. However, when you go to put this on, it is just kind of like hopefully you can see there, it's choppy, it is patchy, it is not going to, even when you like really blend it out, even when you pat, even when you use certain brushes, even when you use your fingers, like yes, you can get a yellow, but for being a cream shadow and for being like as bright as it looks in the pan, you just simply do not get it. And also it does not last very well throughout the day. Like it will crease, it will like look kind of weird, unless you do a very, very thin, very blended out layer like I did there. And in that case, like what's the freaking point? Like you can't tell that I'm wearing a yellow pop. Now, I also tried using this as a base and then using a yellow shadow on top, and I just feel like the powder shadow on top sat weird and just did not do like the vision that I had. I don't know. Have you guys tried this? Like I don't like it. I don't think that it's good, and was a complete waste of money. All right, and that is everything. Those were all the products I wanted to mention for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you did enjoy hearing me rant and rave, definitely give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and I do appreciate you being here and watching this video. If you feel like you like me, then definitely subscribe to this channel so that you can keep up with all of my future videos. It's free to do, and I do love having you here. Thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.